Hey guys, Mubarak here again of InPennyStock. Hope you're doing well. Again, we're doing our daily lives, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, every single day for the rest of the week. And this is available to the public. So come here ready for your trading questions, any investment tips, stock advice, trading platforms, any questions that you have, this is the time to ask them. So you can also reach out to us at admin@InPennyStock.com to send in any questions, or if you have any one-on-one concerns that you want to discuss, we're here for you. All right, so we're going to be doing this every day until Friday, available to the public, and then these daily one-on-ones are only going to be available to the executive VIP and VIP members over at InPennyStock.com. So definitely feel free to take advantage, especially for the next week, to see some of the lessons and discussions we have here at InPennyStock. Right. So in today's topic, what we're going to be covering is how much money can I make trading stocks? All right. This is why we're getting into it, right? You want to know how much profit you're able to make, how much investing you're able to do in order to sustain a good income, correct? So profitability and how much money you can make is all at the basis of that. That's why you're here. That's why you're watching this video. And so in today's live episode, I'm going to be covering, what to think about in terms of breaking out your profit income and how you can treat it as a sustainable form of income. All right, so the first thing to determine is what your goals are with stock trading. All right, a lot of the times people have different goals with what they want to accomplish. For a lot of people, they like their day jobs, they want to stick to their 9-to-5s or their business or whatever they have, and they have some side income, and so they're coming here in order to learn about how to properly allocate their money, all right, their savings. They know that the wise thing to do is to invest it, and basically what we cover is long-term investing as well as day trading. All right, the day trading is where you can actually make a sustainable daily income. All right, so stocks have a dual benefit. All right, you can treat them for long-term profits, as a retirement tool, as a way to make money over the long term, and then at the same time you can also benefit from being able to utilize it for short-term income and make money on a daily basis if you know how to do it right. All right, so what I want to do in this episode is lay down the expectations of what you can expect trading stocks and how much money you'll need to get started, as well as where you think the profitability can come in from. Okay, so essentially what we have here is we're going to cover, first of all, how much money you need to start. All right, so generally what I advise at InPennyStock is that students start with around $2,000. Okay, $2,000 is a very good base limit. And for a lot of brokers, that's exactly what you need in order to unlock the levels of features that you would require. Level 2, margin trading, and the likes. Okay, now what you can do actually is you can start with that. Honestly, in reality, you can start with even a couple bucks and you can get started, right? And that might be the right move. So if you download Robinhood, or if you just buy a stock off the whim that you like, right? Even getting invested into the market is a great advantage point, and that's going to take you very far, right? A lot of people think that the stock market is some crazy mystery and that they don't have enough money yet and that they're just going to hold off until they have more savings. But that's usually a massive, massive mistake, because the great thing about the stock market is that you can benefit a lot from just getting started. And over time, the amount of income and profits you're able to make just compounds and gets larger and larger. All right. So definitely, the first thing to do is, if you don't have debt, pay those down, because credit card debt is very high, right? The interest rate on that is anywhere from 18 to 22%, or all the way up to 24%. So you don't want to be paying this if you have a high credit card debt, because this is technically going to be wiped out from any trading profits that you would make as an average trader. All right. The goal here is to be above average, right? So what we teach in InPennyStock is how to go above and beyond and excel. That's why we go over the specific tactics and trading methodologies that we teach here, because that way you can actually make a better and more sustainable income. All right, so that's definitely the first thing to keep in mind. Now, once you feel like you can actually get involved with trading, well, you can honestly see with an account on the average of 5,000, right? Once you become a skilled trader, which is going to take about 3 months. All right, so in the 3 months, what you can do is you're going to go through the InPennyStock program, you're going to do your own research, you're going to study, and in 3 months of dedication and hard work, That's how much time I would spend learning about the markets, researching before you actually go more hardcore into full-time day trading. In the interim, you're practicing, you're learning, right? Maybe you make a real account, which is fine. You put some money into it, and then you kind of do some trading to get an understanding of what it is. But you can also get that same exact benefit of experience and practicing your trades by doing what we call virtual trading or paper trading. All right, so that's the terminology. And the goal there is you're basically able to buy and sell stocks with demo money so you can understand how it would be if you were to do it in the real life scenario, right? So you can kind of test yourself and practice. And if you're profitable, then you're in a good point. But in the interim, what you can do is continue to study, continue to go through the videos and courses, because it's just like any other talent, right? It takes some time to level up, but then finally what you can do is day trading can be a good income, right? So let's say finally after 3 months, you're able to get your account to 5,000. That's between a mix of saving a couple $100 a paycheck and putting it into your savings account, as well as growing your account with successful trades. All right, so what you can typically average the $5,000 account is probably anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a week from profitable trades. All right, so the way this happens is, generally speaking, in a trading day, you're going to have 5 days. And if you do it right, one of the days you won't even trade. Okay, so you have 4 days left, right? So no trades, because there's no, if you're trading every day, there's a potential, for 2 weeks at a time, there's a potential that you're probably over trading and you're probably getting into trades without it being the perfect setup, right? So if you do a lot of research and due diligence, there is a good chance that you can take advantage of that opportunity. But if not, then I would say that probably one day you're not going to end up with a good trade, all right? Let's say one day you lose, all right? So one day, no trading. One day you're down. All right. One day you're going to break even. And 2 days you're going to profit. That's pretty much what it's going to look like. And based on your trading portfolio, from those 2 days, you're probably going to make this much. On average, from a good trade, you're going to expect to make around $500 plus. All right. Once you get into the $500 profit range, unless you're sure that the stock is going to continue going up, it's usually worthwhile to lock in some of those profits. And there's different methods to this, right? What I personally do is I have an 80-20 rule of taking profits. So when I feel like there's a good profit on the table and I should take it, I'll sell 80% of my shares. And I'll lock in those gains. And I'll keep the 20% to ride it out, right? And then the second the level 2 goes against me and the variables that we teach at InPennyStock start going against us, then we're going to cut off our trade and we're going to lock in the profits. So that way what you can do is you can make sure you have your guaranteed income, and then you can also make sure you can benefit from long-term profits. Now, as your account size grows, these profit margins will grow as well. So once you're starting to trade from with a 10K account, it's very possible that on a weekly basis, I would say you can make 2K to 3K a week pretty easy. Following the methodology. You'll probably see the same breakdown here, right? One day break even, one day lose, a couple of days profit, right? And that's kind of really how it ends up working out, because this gets you at a good point of being able to profit. The goal is that the profitable weeks or days take you through, so that way when you lose on a certain day or break even, it's cutting just into your overall profits. Right, so on a monthly basis, what you can look at is you should be able to, I would say, and it depends on what month you are, right? If you're an advanced trader, then this can be even faster and better, right? You might be able to flip your money. But from one month to the other month, if you were to even go up $3,000, it's a great sustainable method, right? Because then you can reach closer to the 10K mark, and if you save money and still put it away slightly, then you can get to the 2 to 3K a week. And the goal here is to get to 10K a month. All right. Roughly, once you have a size account of about 15K, that 10K a month should be more than attainable, right? And that's when you would want to go into the day trading portion. That's when you would want to kind of take advantage of those styles of trading. Okay, so that's what I would kind of generally say you can expect. A lot of people wonder how much money they can make. And the great thing about penny stocks is that there's the potential that you can get the 50% gain or the 100% gain in a single day. All right, and that's the moments and opportunities that we're after. So if you do enough research, do your watch list, and are prepared, and really it's pretty simple. All you have to do is have a proper watch list and then have your software set up alerts. That way you get notified right away on your phone. And we teach about how to set this up at InPennyStock University. But all you have to have is set up on whatever browser or phone, and you can get told, one, when the stock breaks the 52-week high, which usually means there's some good activity that you might want to get involved in, and two, anytime news comes out, so that way that if you see that the stock is reacting to that news for that stock because you put it on your watch list, then generally speaking, you can profit from those trades. All right. Usually what I find is people end up losing money because in your day, have your set watch list, maybe 10, 20 stocks if you did good research, and you're watching this handful of stocks, but there's not a lot of activity going on, so you start scrambling around, right? You start going to chat rooms, you start going to forums, and if you don't put in the right due diligence, you're just trying to grab the wave, sometimes that ends up going against you. So that's the only time, if you're smart about it. I know traders that in a single summer, right, what they were able to do is they did maybe 56 trades or 60 trades, and they were profitable out of more than 55 of them, right? So the whole goal is that as you become a better trader, you'll be able to know what opportunities to take and what not to take, right? All that it requires is time invested. And at InPennyStock.com, we have a series where you can kind of watch me live and analyze stocks and trading. So you can tell, what stock patterns are good to trade, which ones are going to be able to make you those profits for it to be sustainable. All right, so I hope that answered the question. If you guys have any other questions related to how much money you can make trading stocks, then always feel free to reach out to me. We did have one question come in, and I think there's another question that my support team will get to me. But, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to post it in the chat. But the first question that I saw that actually came in was, how do you short sell penny stocks? Or can you even short sell penny stocks? All right. And so that's a good question because, in the media, what I've found is that, especially in the newbie trader world or people who haven't traded at all, for some reason, there's some terminology or something going on, some research out there that shorting is like illegal or not, you're not able to do it. And that's all false. All right, shorting has always been permitted. Yeah, there's a negative connotation because you're hoping that the stock goes down. And so people feel like there might be an ethical issue there. But honestly, hedge funds, Wall Street, they do this all day long and make millions, if not billions of dollars off of it. And so just like how you can short regular stocks, you can also short penny stocks. And usually, if you're doing kind of the pump and dump method, or if you're dip buying, or depending on what trading strategy you're implementing, shorting could be very, very successful for you. All right, so that's kind of what I would recommend there. Let me check if there's any other questions. I believe there is a question. What's the question?
Can you short sell penny stock?
No, the second. We got that one. What's the next one?
What is the relevance of Wolf of Wall Street and the penny stocks mentioned compared to real life? Okay,
that's a good question. So a lot of people actually get their initial exposure of penny stocks from The Wolf of Wall Street, right? And that was actually a movie that came out about a year after we started InPennyStock.com, and it drew a lot of attention and traffic to the website. But essentially, Wolf of Wall Street has some good and has some bad to it, right? The crazy scenes you already know, but the interesting things are when they're talking about the penny stocks and how those would be treated. That was all actual real life, right? So when he goes into that store or that area where there's just those, entry level or kind of unskilled amateur call salesmen who are just selling penny stocks, that's exactly what used to happen. That's what we refer to as a boiler room, all right, where people were literally going and trying to pump the stocks up, right? So it's the pump and dump scheme, and they were going and talking and trading based off of that. All right, so the Wolf of Wall Street, the pink sheets were right. Obviously, the commissions, if you might have remembered from that movie, they mentioned that it was 50% of the stock. That's how it was back then. Of course, now it's only a small fee per trade, a small percentage, So it's nowhere near that much. But penny stocks were still alive and well then, and they're still live today. And the only difference today is that, I mean, there's still boiler room. So there's still people getting calls or robocalls or automated phone calls about a certain stock. But, in reality, in today's world, that's actually happening via email. So if you type in penny stock alerts and you find a lot of these weird websites that look like they were made in the 90s or 2000s or something, kind of very low grade interfaces, those guys, and they're asking for your email, they're basically doing the same thing that boiler rooms used to do, but instead of calling a bunch of people, they're email blasting 500,000 people who are just looking for that quick stock trade or that hot stock tip, and they're pump and dumping stocks that way. All right, another question. I just opened up a Robinhood account. What should I do next? Should I create a stock watch list? Okay, great question. So Robinhood is so great because it's an entry-level platform for a lot of traders. All right, for people, especially the newer generation who's much more used to using apps, they're very comfortable with downloading an app and setting up a brokerage platform, just like they're signing up for any other account. All right, so that's why Robinhood has a great kind of initial entryway. And generally speaking, what you should continue to do is continue studying, continue watching videos, continue learning the methodologies, but also spend some time going through Robinhood tutorials and getting an understanding of all of the features that it has to offer. Because Robinhood's interface is actually a bit more detailed and much better than it actually comes out initially. And so as you learn some of the features it has, you can actually become more and more skilled of a trader. But yes, a stock watch list is a must, right? Before you get into any profitable trading, you have to create a watch list. And we teach all about how to do that at InPennyStock.com. So check that out after this if you want to learn more. And what stock screener tool do you recommend beginners use? So stock screener tools are super important because that's how you get your information. That's how you figure out what type of stocks you're interested in trading. Right? So for example, a stock screener tool to use for beginners, I would say is finviz.com is a great one. Finviz, that's FINVIZ.com. That's usually a very popular one. We also have a great stock screening tool at InPennyStock.com/stocks. And you can use that to research stocks and figure out how they're trading and view their chart patterns. So we're going to be building out that module more and more. And that's going to be a feature available only to the VIP members at InPennyStock. What is a good profit goal as a day trader? Like, should I aim for 10% or 20% from my trades? Okay, so another good question. This kind of goes back to what we were mentioning with the amount of profitability you can make from trading. So generally speaking, what I recommend is the 20% mark is a good time to take profits, or the $500 mark, right? At that time, I usually turn to implement my 80% rule, unless I'm trading a skyrocket or I'm in a great platform, right? So if I'm utilizing the double catalyst rule, that's a very important rule where we kind of look for two catalysts to activate at the same time for a stock, so that way we can almost guarantee profits are occurring. So in those scenarios, I'll let it ride more. But I would say after 20%, you have to stop being greedy and you have to start taking money off the table. So that's when you can implement the 80-20 rule, which is, as I mentioned earlier, you sell 80% of it and you keep 20% in the trade. So that way you can still benefit from the upside if the stock still continues to go up, but you can kind of rest easy knowing that a certain amount has already sold and that you've already locked in some profits. And last question is, how much should I put in a trade? All right, so good question. That all has to do with how big your account is. All right, so this is a very important rule. You should never go higher than 20 to 25% max of your trading portfolio, right? So if your account only has $2,000 in it, that's totally fine. You can make good money by putting in $500 if you put it behind the right trade, right? Because if that stock goes up, if you go in the right stock, if it goes up 50% that day, you just made $250, and now your account size grows larger. All right, and that's kind of the whole goal, is that you have to be able to leave certain money in the account for it to be your kind of weapon in order to further progress on your profits. The only way traders ever end up broke is when they go all in with their money and they end up blowing up their account because they chose the wrong stock trade. All right, so if you follow that rule, it's usually 20%. especially for any account over any account over 5,000, I would never put more than 20% in any trade. But on the lower end, when you're first starting, if you have $2,000, you can put in $500 into account, which comes out to about 25%. So great live. I'm glad you guys were able to come here, ask these questions. This is exactly why I'm doing this. I'm happy that more and more people are attending. So we're going to be covering more of these topics. Tomorrow we have a live plan again, 8 p.m. Pacific, and that is 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have any questions, come here then, ready to ask them. And if you always want to reach out to me or my team, you can reach us at admin@InPennyStock.com or pretty much on every single social media at InPennyStock. So hope you guys enjoyed this live, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.
Oh my god, baby, I'm so sorry.